Okay, so the case number 3. The first, yeah, definitely the stool softener we can recommend, yeah, for long term. And the lubricant like liquid paraffin is the one we're trying to target. We're trying to work out, but for at least 3 to 6 months, we have to advise the parents. It takes that long, so ask them to keep using it every day for 3 months and see how it goes. And for the constipation, at the moment, we try to recommend the lubricant suppository, but not a stimulant. We try not to use stimulant for the kid. And also osmotic laxative. Yeah, if the kid, the patients, the little kid don't like the suppository, maybe we can try osmotic. But for osmotic laxative, it takes about still 6 hours, 8 hours. It still takes a while. It won't work straight away. Yeah. Okay, the next topic is we call irritable bowel syndrome 就是所谓的肠燥肌症。So 这个肠燥肌症呢is very common gut problem. So the symptom can be they probably have the pain and a very strange feeling for the pain. So I have personally, I have the irritable bowel myself for more than 20 years old, 20 years, more than 20 years. So in terms of the pain, it's not that painful. If I just feel something very strange when you have something comes up, and also bloating because and also sometimes there will be wind or fart, we call farting. Okay. And for certain people, the symptom will be between diarrhea and constipation or both. Okay. Or some people, they have problem to defecate 就是排便会有一些，他们会有 urgency， 他们会常常去排便，而且一天可能要上5次到6次。就我个人来说，我自己有这个 IBS。所以呢，我自己严重的时候，一天跑的6次、7次厕所，那是很正常的。那解决这个 IBS，how do we treat IBS? So the first we have to find out what caused the IBS. Yeah, because your gut is quite sensitive. So sensitive to like stress or certain food. Okay, so that change your gut mobility. Yeah, so when your gut is very sensitive, they move a bit faster than normal. It's not slowing down. It's getting faster, and sometimes can be bacterial, and sometimes we call can be leaky gut. Leaky gut that mean your gut in certain part is leaking, you know. 所以这个 leaking gut 在中文就可能是说你的肠胃道在某个地方有好像在漏水这种感觉了啊，它的通透度可能是不是它的就是你的肠胃道某个地方是在有渗漏的问题啊，所以会造成你的肠道那些什么水分啊会很多啊，所以这样子你就常常会跑厕所。那最后一个可能就是导致这个 IBS 就是 infection 啊，有时候你会一些肠胃道的感染，不管是病毒的感染还是什么感染，那感染以后你的肠胃就会像刚刚我这前面所说的 sensitivity increase or leaking gut， 或者是 because of damage for the membrane。那个细胞膜有一些受损，所以会造成你的这个 IBS 会更严重。Okay, so yeah, definitely irritable bowel syndrome, we have to focus on the diet. So high fiber definitely is good, or lactose free 这个乳糖有时候有 IBS 的人喝牛奶、乳制品，有时候也会拉得很严重，或者是常喝咖啡的we have to avoid caffeine. And the last one, the one I want to mention today is a very modern concept for the last 5 years. It's called low FODMAP diet. So the FODMAP is something is a short for certain character. Okay, so FODMAP mean the F mean fermentable， 就是这些很多发酵性的食物它里面就会造成这些，因为发酵所以会产生很多气体所以这些都会引起我们的这个肠燥肌症，或者是这个 O stand for oligo， 就是所谓的寡糖，或者是双糖die， 或者是说 monosaccharide， 就是单糖或者是 polio， 就是 polio 就是有很多那些 OHG 的那些，例如说那些什么糖类什么蔗糖，什么什么糖所以这几个 letter 把它合在一起就叫做 FODMAPs FODMAP。So we have for the people they have IBS, they have to try something called low FODMAP diet. 好，那我们以下我们会看一个影片，这个影片 we will look at a video, and this video will show you what's the how the IBS is what caused the IBS. 你们可以看得到这个吗？
看不到。
等一下好，等一下我再。
Probably is a digital writing with everything from vocabulary, clarity, and also speaks language sound or professional and fluent in English.
等一下哈。现在可以看得到吗？这个
OK，
这样可以哈。
有
好。
Did your provider suggest trying the low FODMAP diet? If so, you've probably been having digestive problems like functional abdominal pain or irritable bowel syndrome. Let's start by talking about what those are. Then we will talk about FODMAPs and how the diet might help. Functional abdominal pain and irritable bowel syndrome are types of belly discomfort and distress. They are thought to be persistent and associated with eating certain foods, recovering from stomach bugs, mental stress, or having extra sensitive intestines, or even a combination. If you are having pain on its own, it's called functional abdominal pain. If there's constipation or diarrhea too, it is called irritable bowel syndrome. The low FODMAP diet is a tool to narrow down which foods might be causing problems or making them worse. The word FODMAP is an acronym for the common culprits that cause bloating. The F in FODMAP stands for fermentable, or foods that make gas when they are digested. O, D, M, and P stand for different shapes of sugars: oligo, di, monosaccharides, and polyols. In addition to gas, poorly absorbed FODMAPs can pull extra water into the intestines and cause diarrhea.
So which foods are the ones high in FODMAPs?
There are 7 main categories. Your providers will give you a list. The first 4 are beans, alliums, cruciferous vegetables, and breads. These are the foods with the O in FODMAP, oligosaccharides. On the internet, you might read the names galactans and fructans. Galactans are carbohydrate sugars found in beans, peas, and lentils. Fructans are found in alliums and cruciferous vegetables. Alliums are the onions and garlics. Fructan sugars are also found in wheat, barley, and rye. These are the same grains that have gluten protein, but this diet is different from being gluten-free. Gluten is the protein in wheat, Fruitin is the carbohydrate. This is good to know because foods labeled gluten-free might still be high in FODMAPs. The next categories are dairy and fruit sugars. These are the foods with the di and monosaccharides, D and M, lactose and fructose. Lactose is milk sugar, which is especially high in milk or ice cream. Fructose is fruit sugar. It is especially high in certain fruits like watermelon and apples. It is also what high fructose corn syrup is made of. The last group is the stone fruits, like peaches and avocados. These have polyols, or sugar alcohols like sorbitol or xylitol. The last letter P in FODMAP. These polyols are also used as the artificial sweeteners in sugar-free gum and mints. Remember, the low FODMAP diet is just a tool to help figure out which foods might be causing trouble in an organized way. It's not a permanent diet. The first step is to cut out the foods high in FODMAPs for 2 to 6 weeks. Most foods are still fine to eat. After a few weeks being FODMAP-free, the next step is called the re-challenge phase. Start adding foods back into your diet one by one while you watch for problems. Ideally, a dietitian will help you. From start to finish, the low FODMAP diet typically takes a few months to complete. At the end, you will know which specific foods you need to avoid to feel well. About half of adults who work through the low FODMAP diet find adjustments that make them feel better. It is also commonly used to help children. Also remember, functional abdominal pain and irritable bowel syndrome have many factors that contribute differently depending on the person. Your provider might recommend other tools in addition to the diet to help. So that's it. Let's recap. FODMAPs are foods that might cause bloating and discomfort. Adjusting your diet after going FODMAP-free for a short time can help functional abdominal pain and irritable bowel syndrome. It is one tool out of many your doctor may recommend to help you feel better. Thanks for watching.
Okay.
There are 3 locations that are actually going to boom.
A lot of people think right now it's not a good time to get a property. And in a lot of cases, that's true. If you're buying in an overheated, overpriced market, do not buy those properties. However, there are 3
Okay. So from the video, it tell you what sort of food contain the FODMAP. It's a FODMAP diet. So for people having the IBS, you need to avoid those diet. So the way to find out which one, because not all the FODMAP, or not all the ingredient you probably are sensitive to. So you have to find out which one you are more sensitive. So they have like a schedule. Then you take some certain food out of your diet for a while, and after a while, then you start to reintroduce. Then you will find out, okay, I can't have certain food. I can't have. Then you'll find out yourself. 所以就是说，这个有 IBS 的人，他们可能在他们要吃这个 low FODMAP 的 food 啊，但是不是每一个人对每一种的这个 FODMAP 的 food 都会比较都会好像不好，所以你自己要去找出来说，到底这里面哪一种你是最不行的？例如说你可能是这个牛奶啦，有些人对牛奶就真的很不行。可是你要了解蔬菜里面例如说 asparagus 芦笋，或者是这个cabbage 这些什么高丽菜啦或者是 broccoli 这些花椰菜或者是这些绿色的花椰菜，或者是 celery 像我们常吃的苹果连 apple 它也是 high FODMAP 的东西，或者是梨子，所以很多东西它都会造成我们的这个引起我们的 IBS 所以我们自己要去找出来。OK， so 这个slide 就是 offer you what kind of food is a low FODMAP friendly food. So we have to find out which one. So if you have that issue, you probably can choose the food from the list and avoid the this red those FODMAP food. You have to avoid those food. Okay.
Solar Heart is helping smart Aussies tackle soaring energy prices. Right now, you can...
Okay, so the next we're going to look at what caused the IBS, what caused the IVF. So we already know what's the FODMAP, but now we look at the what's the mechanism that caused IBS.
Medically diagnosed irritable bowel syndrome, known as IBS, is difficult to treat and overcome, in part because we still don't understand its precise cause. However, researchers at Monash University have been studying the dietary factors in food that can trigger IBS symptoms. This research has shown that the pain, discomfort and daily disruption caused by IBS is triggered by certain types of carbohydrates in food called FODMAPs. Here we can see some examples of high FODMAP foods. To understand how some foods contribute to IBS symptoms, we need to look inside the intestines, where food is broken down and absorbed. Zooming in to the molecular surface of the intestinal cells, we see they are covered in molecular machines that accelerate the breakdown of carbohydrates. Most carbohydrates, once broken down, can be absorbed through pumps on the surface of your cells. However, some carbohydrates are not digested or absorbed by people. The rapidly fermentable short-chain carbohydrates that can't be absorbed are called FODMAPs. The presence of FODMAPs causes water to be dragged into the small intestine. Also, because they aren't absorbed, FODMAPs travel through your gut to the large intestine. When bacteria in your large intestine get access to FODMAPs, they use them for energy to survive. The bacteria rapidly ferment FODMAPs and produce gas as a result. Excess gas production and water retention causes the intestines to expand. When the intestinal wall stretches from distension, the highly connected nerves around the intestines send signals to the brain. People with IBS have very sensitive intestines, so these signals contribute to the pain they experience. To reduce FODMAP intake and to alleviate the distension, bloating and other symptoms of IBS, Monash University have developed the low FODMAP diet. People with medically diagnosed IBS should consult a dietitian about trialling the diet. The Monash University Low FODMAP Diet app has been developed as a tool to help people with IBS manage their diet and alleviate symptoms. Contact Monash University or visit the website to find out more about the low FODMAP diet.
OK， 所以就是刚刚我们看到这个对于 IBS 它形成的原因，就是我们摄取太多这些会所谓的 FODMAP 的这些食物，这些食物呢会造成很多的这些没有办法完全分解的这些糖类，那这些糖类就会造成它会吸引很多的这些水分到你的肠道，而当这些没有办法被代谢的这个糖类呢跑到你的大肠， 你的大肠的那个细菌就会再进一步把这些糖类分解，这些糖类就像是它的那个能量一样，所以就会造成那个分解，因为它一发酵，这些肠道的细菌一发酵以后，就会产生很多的气体，所以你看你的肠道里面有很多的气体跟很多的水分，最后是怎么样？就形成一个压力，压力的话就会刺激你的神经。然后加速的你的那个排便，所以有这个 IBS 的人，他们就是真的是每天这肚子就是很不舒服，胀胀的，然后又不是说太胀，然后就是常常要跑厕所，因为你的水分跟你的那个气体实在是太多了。So from the video, it shows that certain food like format rich food sometimes our gut can't break down those FODMAP food. So this excess carbohydrate will stay in the gut. So that will draw or trap more water in the gut. And when those water or those FODMAP travel to your large intestine, it will get fermented by the bacteria there. So those FODMAP food is just like energy for those bacteria or germs. And when it gets fermented, it will produce more gas. So more gas accumulate in the gut that cause the expansion for your guts, and those bloating gut can cause stimulate your nerve, so make your bowels more sensitive, and also there's a pressure and so much water and makes you like to go to the loo, go to the toilet more often. Yeah. So that's like a mechanism for the IBS. So to cure the to cure this IBS, you need to cut down your FODMAP food. At least you have to find out which food that caused your issue. So once you cut down that food, then your symptom might be relief. Okay. Okay. I think we still got 1 minute for the room section. So maybe let's go out and log back in again. So 我们先离开 room 再回来。